Alright, everybody, welcome back. I wouldn't miss this event for the world. The Rising. Now, let's see what we got. Rising attendant, let's talk to you. Talk to the Wandering Minstrel, too, it looks like. In looking to the past, we take solace in the present and think what the future may hold. That is the essence of the Rising. This year, we've prepared a spectacular fireworks celebration. It is sure to enthrall everyone in attendance. So what is the Rising? The Rising is a period of remembrance that commemorates those lives that were lost during the great tragedy that was the Calamity. We also pay tribute to the unsung heroes who risked life and limb that others might know a brighter future. And so the streets are decorated with somber trappings, and the night skies filled with vibrant fireworks. It's the anniversary of Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. The solemn atmosphere and bright lights above may spur others to reflect on the doom pretended by Dalmud. But doing so, they might give thanks for the present and muster hope for a brighter tomorrow. Oh, that's weird. My chat's not coming up. The Wandering Minstrel seeks an adventurer both willing and able to put the finishing touches on this year's Rising celebrations. And just in case anybody out there is not familiar, like I said, this is the anniversary of Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. The celebration for those who gave their lives is actually a celebration of the returning players from the original Final Fantasy XIV version 1.0 that led to the Calamity. Greetings, friend. By your dauntless bearing, I assume you're an adventurer, and come at precisely the moment I find myself in need of an adventurer's aid. Might I beg yours? My thanks. The matter is this. I have been approached by a lady named Ayoyo, who wishes to imprint her own inimitable mark upon the skies above Limsa Lominsa. I speak, of course, of the fireworks that illumine these rising nights. Learning of my contribution to previous year's festivities, she has enlisted me to her cause. We already have the ear of the organizing committee. However, Lady Ayoyo has expressed a strong desire to consult with a storied adventurer before finalizing her proposal. Come to the Yellow Jackets guardhouse at the base of the Coral Tower, and I will introduce you. So where are we going? Ah, to the Marauders Guild. Boy, that's been a minute. That brings back some memories, doesn't it? Let's get the map off the screen. As you can see, I've done a little bit of work to change the layout a little bit. Oh, yo-yo, I am here. Lady Yo-Yo, one-storied adventurer, as promised. Blessings of the 12 upon ye. Name's a Yo-Yo, Cannoneer First Class with the Yellow Jackets. It's an honor to have ye on board. Did I mention that it is the Yellow Jackets who are in charge of this year's festivities? Not only in decorating these fair Leminson streets, but in designing and constructing the fireworks to brighten the skies above. Lady Yo-Yo here is quite the savant in all matters incendiary and explosive. My kind of person! And so it has fallen to her to formulate a plan to display for the display's crowning glory. Me and the other lads and lasses of the Cannoneers whipped up a load of lovely little drakes, snakes, and devils for the Moonfire Fair, but more of the same ain't gonna cut it for the Rising. 'Cause it's all about remembering those we lost in the calamity, ain't it? Them and they're deserving something a mite spectacular than a bunch of old bangers. An admirable sentiment, I'm sure. It would not do for our ode to such a poignant memory to be aught less than memorable. Let us make this year's Rising one that the citizens of this fair realm will not soon forget. Took the words right out of me mouth, dearie. Thing is, having hardly set foot outside of Limsa in all me days, I don't reckon I'm best placed to know what's going through the minds of citizens of this fair realm. And so you would pick an adventurer's brain, one who has journeyed far and wide across the land we love, and knows it and its people intimately. Yet before we call upon your particular wisdom, mayhap it would behoove us to seek out a wider range of opinions. Many and more look to the skies come rising night, and the thoughts that run through their minds are no doubt as diverse. Let us learn them. Sounds like a plan. Mind if I join you, dearie? Could do with learning some of these thoughts myself. Right then, where's the best to start asking around? Some place a lot of outsiders gather, I reckon. How about we meet at the Etherite Plaza down in the lower decks? While you two are so engaged, allow me to continue our discussion with the organizing committee. I shall await you by the aft castle. So, we have the rising ceremony. Let's go to the Aetheryte Plaza, shall we? I apologize for all the crackling. That is my mic as I'm muting it, so I'm not coughing in your ear. As you can hear, I'm still a bit congested. You see them lights down Ocker's Alley, dear? Decorations for the festival, they are. Every year when the streets are decked out for the rising, and my heart fills with, well, all kinds of feelings. Sorrow, pride, regret. But enough about me. We came here to find out how folks feel about it. Let's split up and head down the alley and ask a few likely-looking customers each. We're on a... What happened? Well, that's interesting. How did that happen? Well, I guess we wait in queue for a little bit. My network connection hasn't changed. With the rising, they've probably been seeing a lot of people joining the server. I know it was that way with the Moonfire Fair that just finished up. They were dealing with heavy server congestion, they called it. Okay, so where were we? We're on a schedule here, so don't go asking every single soul you see. 4 or 5 should do ye. I'll meet you down by the ferry docks when you're done. I thought you wanted to talk to him too. Alright. On to Hawker's Alley. Let's go hit the ones over here first. I probably have some stuff that needs to be repaired anyway, so... Welcome, welcome. What may I interest you in this fine evening? Tell me about the Rising. How you feel about it? Ah, information, is it? Well, if you really must know, the whizzing and banging that fills the air this season always takes me back to the time just before the calamity struck. A great festival was held to celebrate the reformation of the grand companies. People in the streets were hooting and hollering and setting off fire spouts, and all the ships in the bay now bedecked with maelstrom colors, let loose their cannon. It seems so foolish now, knowing that what would soon befall us. But all that noise served a purpose nonetheless, drowning out the fear that ever whispered in our ears. It is my firm belief that the rising fireworks serve the same purpose now. They present a vision of loveliness, of togetherness, that we might forget our fears and be given hope for a brighter future. I see. Very poetic and noble of you. I love the decorations. This is going to seem so bland. Ooh. Now that is a gorgeous view. Alright. More people to talk to. before we do, let's get our equipment mended up. Repair all. Alright there, anything I can do for you? You're asking for people's thoughts on the rising fireworks? You adventurers don't have to pick up some odd jobs. Well, I'm like most people, I suppose. I think of those I lost. My parents, most of all. I wonder if they're watching, too. Swum up from the bottom of the ethereal sea to see what all the crashing and banging's about. It's complicated, I suppose. I feel sad they're gone, but happy I'm not. And grateful that Battaron saving me so many times. If they are watching, I hope they can see me too. See that I'm doing all right for myself. That they might sleep soundly for another 12 months. I'll tell you what. They definitely have an interesting take on story for this. The streets are full of life, the sky full of fire, and the western winds filling our seafarers' sails as it does our hearts. Ah, I couldn't have picked a better time to come home. You're a sailor too, are you? Helping with the fireworks, you say? Good on you, lad. I have a few memories of back then. If you've an ear to hear 'em. I'm a merchant seaman, you see, always sailing hither and thither across the waves. Was just back from a trip to Razdad when the calamity struck. Everyone was looking up to the sky and that loathsome lantern that hung low in it. Like most folks, I don't remember much of what happened in the days before or after it fell, but I'll never forget those faces. And that's what I love so much about the fireworks. You see the same faces looking up, but this time with a smile. Reminds you not only of the bad times, but how we got over them. You know, quite honestly, everybody tells me how good the story is, but I don't think a lot of it really prepares you. It really is quite the story. And if you've missed any of it and the videos are not up on my channel, I would really recommend playing through yourself and actually experiencing. Can you see them too, my love? You're involved with the fireworks and want to know what I think of them? Well, just now I was wondering if they can be seen from far out in the offing. Do you know? I see. The reason I ask is that my husband is out there now. He meant to be back by rising night, but it seems the tide didn't turn in his favor. He was so looking forward to the fireworks. I do hope he can see them from where he is. We can share them together, no matter how far apart we might be. That is my only request to you, that you make the finale as bright and boisterous as you can, that all those who can not be together this rising might still share its message. I'm gonna have to take cough syrup or something. This keeps up. Down to the docks. Oh, wrong dock. I hear docks and all I can think about is the fishing. Sorry to keep you waiting, dearie. So what did you find out? Same here. Was half expecting them to just like looking at the pretty lights, but it seems the feeling runs a lot deeper than that. The memories of the calamity still sit heavy on their hearts, but the rising fireworks go to some way of lifting that weight. So any ideas for the grand display? What kind of thing do you reckon would help lift those spirits the most? So what do you think? Grand and flashy? Something that brings hope? I think we have to give people hope for the future. Hope for the future? That ain't a bad idea. Reminding folks, however dark the night, dawn is just around the corner. The rising ain't just about mourning those we lost after all. It's about remembering the struggle of those who survived to steer us to a brighter future. Aye, that's it. That's what Limsa needs this rising. Ship's cannon, a departure salute. Not just for the fallen, but for those setting sail for unknown shores. A vision of the past and a vision of the future. A whole bleeding armada filling Galdeon Bay, lighting up the very heavens. Who wouldn't want to watch that? That's settled then. The minstrel gonna love it. He said he'd be up by the aft castle, right? I'll see you there. To the aft castle. Away! Such a gorgeous song. Our intrepid adventurer returns, and positively bursting with inspiration, I take it. Yeah, here's what we need to do. I see. A traditional seafaring salute. Not only to the memories of the fallen, but to the future fortune of those who follow in their wake. A most fitting proposal, I'm sure. Thanks to the both of ye, but our work ain't done yet. There's a lot needs sorting out before we can go put this idea into action. So much to do, so little time. Story of life, buddy. If you wouldn't mind helping us a little longer, dearie, I'd be forever in your debt. Let me know when you've got your loins good and girded. I like the fact that this actually has the Final Fantasy logo for 14 up there. I really like that. Brushed up cryo. Ah! A minion. Io asked for your continued assistance in seeing her plan for the Rising fireworks realized. Right then, let's get started, shall we, dearie? The plan is we're going to line up an old fleet of ships across the bay and have them fire broadside into the sky. But before we go about finding our fleet, we need to get the plan approved by the organizing committee, and that means convincing Commodore Rayner. I'll take the lead, but I ain't exactly got the silverest tongue, nor much experience nobbling with the higher-ups. If you two see me struggling, put in a word, won't ye? Of course, my lady, your cause is ours. Thank you, me dears. Together then, to the Coral Tower. Seasonal event quest accepted. So, back to the Marauders Guild. Last I had the privilege of meeting with the Commodore was about around the time of the Calamity. I had been arrested for conspiracy to incite rebellion. Naturally, it was all a misunderstanding, I'm sure. Some other scurrilous soul had been singing songs of sedition. If not for Rayner and his relentless pursuit of the truth, I might still be lingering in the brig. He is a shrewd investigator who will brook no evocation. Shall we then? Well, as you can see, I'm the talkative one of the bunch. Wanting to make the Rising display special, I can fathom, but the sheer scale of this proposal is beyond anything I imagined. Yo-yo, need I remind you that the first duty of the Yellow Jackets is keeping of the peace? Filling the bay with ships will not only disturb the daily workings of the harbor, but is sure to foment agitation among the commons. Knowing this, do you still mean to persevere with this outlandish plan? I do, Commander. Every Laminsan art, every Eorzean art, still bears the scars of the calamity. All that loss, that hardship, that struggle, it cut deep. But the Rising ain't just about looking to the past, it's about looking to the future, too. And if it's our duty to watch over folk, keeping them on the straight and narrow, like, I reckon it's our duty to see them off on another year's journey, too. Well put. I accept that your intentions are pure, but what of the logistics? I trust you have a plan as to who exactly will be providing and paying for this fleet of yours. Yes, Commander, we're going to partition the Maelstrom for the flagship, and the rest from the Black Sails. Of course, one is wont to forget that those buccaneering souls remain bound to serve the Maelstrom in times of necessity. Lady Ayoyo would have us parley with the three great pirate captains and remind them of their civic duty, it seems. Aye, that's right. The pirates answered the Admiral's call back when the moon was fallen. Fought and died at Cartano, same as the rest of us. When they hear about our plan to salute all those who fell, and all those who didn't, I don't doubt they'll answer the call again. I wish you luck. I wish you all the luck in the world in recruiting those rogues to your cause. You shall need it. Very well then, allow me to arrange the parley. Should you succeed in this feat, you may consider all of my remaining doubts answered. I bid you remember that you got to speak with the pirates. Lawless marauders all. Pray that you do not say aught to offend them, lest we find ourselves with a mutiny on our hand. I shall have the Maelstrom summon the leader. Hold on a second. A couple adjustments here. There we go. I shall have the Maelstrom summon the leaders of the three factions to the anchor yard. Pray go there and complete your preparations. Does anybody else ever notice that the Lalafell, they have knees? They don't walk with them, though. Cheers for sticking with me, lads. I hope I can count on your support for the next set of negotiations and all. I got nothing else to do right now. Of course, my lady. Alas, I fear the captains, those far-famed scourges of the seas, will prove rather less biddable partners than Commodore Raynor did. While Roswin of the Sanguine Sirens may be swayed by emotion, Carvalian of the Kraken's Arms is of much more mercenary mind. The executioners, meanwhile, value honor and glory above all else. If there is aught to unite them, it is a zealous spirit. Let us argue with passion that we might inflame theirs. If it's passion you're after, I got that in bleeding bucket loads. I might need you two to jump in again, 'cause me tongue decides to tie itself in an half-inch Affitch. Just to say the first thing that comes into your heads, and I'll pick up after. Come on, dearies, let's head over to the anchor yard and get the parlay started. Okay, so where is the anchor yard? Looks like, yeah. Let's go to the aft castle. Will you let me through this way? You should. Not an area I visit very often. Ah, but it's so peaceful. I should really come up here more often. It's gorgeous. Okay. Never mind. Got distracted. There's two. Where's the third one? Oh, that must be him. Thanks for coming. The reason we asked you here is... Aye, the Maelstrom summons laid it out for us loud and clear. You want us to help with the Ryzen fireworks. And the answer's no. When my sirens fire broadside, it's to send our enemies to the bottom of the briny, not to paint pretty pictures in the sky for drylanders to gawp at. We've better things to be doing with our time. 'Tis a rare occurrence, to be sure, but I find that my opinion aligns with Roswin's. Our time is precious, as I'm sure is yours. Let us hasten to draw these discussions to a close. I shall put it bluntly, I see no profit in this endeavor for myself and my men, so unless there is anything else... No profit? How sad that the great Carvalian should lose their nose for coin. You would put the Admiral and the Yellow Jackets in your debt. Why, it's the perfect opportunity to forge a deeper bond with Roswin. This guy loves his profit. I did not come here to be insulted. If you know of a method by which the Krakens might stand to gain from this that I do not, then state it, or else hold your tongue. Or better yet, allow me to hold it for you. The sheer scale of the spectacle we propose would no doubt draw all lords and ladies of the realm to gather in the city, personages of high renown and deep pockets. Aye, and if they saw you lot working and in and with the maelstrom, it'd do wonders for your public image. Folks who would normally wouldn't touch a pirate within a barge pole would be queuing up to do business with you. I do believe you have a point, poorly phrased though it might be. To win legitimate business, one must project an image of a legitimate businessman. Sod your image, and sod anyone too lily-livered to trade with us. They can stick their barge poles up their backsides. What's in it for the sirens? If you won't consider them customers, consider them quarry. Ha! You do realize our days of pillaging every ship we see long gone. Quarry my arse. The sanguine sirens ain't all about the pirate life, though, are ye? You run almsholes for the sick and injured, and those with child. Keep themselves busy with odd jobs, such as as come their way. Them's your hunters, and the folk who draw to the city to see the grand display your quarry. Ah, I see where you're going with this. Get the girls to set up the stalls selling food and grog and the like, and they'd make a killing, providing they had all the right permits from the Yellow Jackets. You're a shrewd one, you. Maybe I could lend them a hand myself. They do say the best way to a man's heart is through his stomach. What of the executioners? There's no dishonor in linking arms with Admiral Merriwebb of the Maelstrom, surely. You, Yellow Jacket, I want you to tell me one thing and tell it true. This is Limsa, the greatest port in the realm. You could find this fleet of yours without our help. Yet you come here begging for it. Why? Because I reckon you're the ones who need the rising the most. The black sails only came together 'cause of Cartano. You could have upped anchor and sailed off into the sunset, but no, you fought like demons on those cursed flats. Made heroes of yourselves and martyrs. The way I see it, it's only right that those that lost the most, when they stood to gain the least, should be the ones to fire the salute to the departed. And a salute to the departing, too. The calamity changed the lives of you pirates more than anyone. If anyone should be celebrating new beginnings, it's those whose new beginnings already begun. So it's all for our own good, is it? I'm headed back to Aselia. Send word when you've hammered out the details of the display of yours. We'll see what we can do. Aye, aye, Captain. Can't really say no to you now, can I? We lost a lot of good people back in Cartano. Let's send them off with a bloody great bang. I will join you on one condition. That is your reminiscence of trauma past. You do not make a shameful spectacle of yourself. Pray do not force me to restrain you again. I never forced you to do nothing. You'll keep your hands off me if you want to keep 'em, you randy bastard. Quite the fragile flower, isn't she? Well then, I bid you adieu. My ships will not ready themselves. And breathe. Gods, I was so nervous I could hardly speak. Thanks so much for chipping in when you did. Could have never got 'em on our side without ye. Right then, time to put the finishing touches on this plan of mine. It's going to be wonderful, I just know it. Oh, and about your reward. I've given it to the minstrel. You can grab it from him. To new beginnings, lad, and may the navigator's breath ever fill your sails. You did a great service, my friend, both for Lady Ayoyo and for all those who love the Rising, myself included. For that I shall ever be grateful. I expect it shall be some hours before preparations for the grand finale are complete. Mayhap we could wait together. Sure. Let's check this out, guys. While we wait, would you care to hear a verse that lately come to me? It is a song of celebration, of encouragement for all those who sail for unknown shores. Pray lend me your ears. Well, this should be a good song. Not a good time for the echo to kick in. Greetings, warrior of light. This is a world that exists outside of your reality. Could it be a dream? A flight of fancy conjured by your weary mind? Perhaps. Or perhaps not. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Naoki Yoshida, and I beckoned you here that I might express my gratitude. The road we have walked has been long and winding, full of perils and pitfalls, but we have enjoyed every step in your company. We hope that you feel the same about this last great leap. With every adventure we undertake, the longer the legacy we leave behind us. Yet a lengthy history need not mean a foreshortened future. Many adventures yet await. We shall continue to chart our course into the great unknown, one that takes in all diverse wonders this wide world has to offer, that your legacy might grow ever greater. To be certain, it would have been less trying task to sleepwalk ever onward down the same well-furrowed road, yet to venture down paths untrodden, believing in the bright, glorious future that lies beyond them, is by far more rewarding. This is the gift that we wish to deliver unto you, the gift of adventure. And we pray with all our hearts that you will continue to walk with us. We thank you for joining us on this journey, heretofore and hereafter. Now the time has come for this vision to end. Time for your eyes to open from this waking dream. One cannot know what fills the hearts and minds of those who look out to the sky this rising night. Perhaps you and I will see very different images in those explosions of light and color. But one thing I know for certain, that right here, right now, we look to the same sky. And though the path that lays ahead of us may lead in very different directions, sometime, someplace, they shall cross again. "'Tis almost time for the display to begin, the consummation not only of our labors, but of the thoughts and prayers of the people of this fair city. A salute for the departed, and for those who set sail into unknown waters. Many adventures await you, my friend. May the navigator's breath ever fill your sails." From the eastern sea to the eastern sky, the sacred sun ascends, and voices stir, of wind, of wave, of rope, of sail, of friends, who, like the golden light of the dawn that streams across the sea, set sunlit sails for foreign lands. May fortune follow thee. Her journey done, so sinking the sun below the western waves, and memories stir of friends of yore asleep in watery graves. Let not our voices raised in song disturb your endless sleep, but join us in our chorus and your dream among the deep. An excerpt from an ancient mariner's song, a prayer for the safe return of those who sail over the horizon, and for the peace of those who sleep beneath those same eternal waves. It concludes with a wish that the voices of those whose spirits are stirred in anticipation of new adventures reach the ears of those whose adventures ended too soon, that they might be united as one. A fitting sentiment for the rising, I think. And so I offer my own heartfelt wish that even should your adventures carry you beyond the far-flung horizons of this world, we should meet once more in 12 months' time, look up at the same sky together. That was awesome. The toy chest. Minigames. Additionally, certain notable personages have been seen to frequent the anchor yard this rising. Do the same and you may be greeted with an unexpected encounter. Oh, really? Well, my dear Gobu, seems you may get a break. Brushed up Cryle. Not quite sure who Cryle is, but I'm sure I will find out. Oh, that was awesome! We couldn't have planned that any better. Let's take a look at your Cryle. You're a pictomancer. I hope I get to meet you at some point. Alright. The anchor yard. A soft westerly wind blows across the anchor yard. Enjoy the sea breeze a while? Sure. You hear footsteps approaching. You turn and see. Let's see the Admiral. WhiteBeard, this is a coincidence? Raynor was just telling me of the role you played in putting the display together. I'm sure all those who gathered in my city to witness it were as moved as I. A salute to all those who set sail for new adventures. It shall surely resound in their hearts and give them strength and courage in the year to come. And a salute to the fallen, too, was it not? Many and more lost their lives in the fields of Carteneau. The men and women of the Black Sails, chief among them. I thank you for giving those who survived them this chance to put their grief to a more productive ends. I thank you for giving the celebration an unmistakable touch of salt, too. This year's rising was not merely in Limsa Laminsa, but of her. I look forward to seeing how future host cities follow our example. But for now, let us focus on the present. I'm sure I've kept you from your business for far too long already. I must return to mine. I must offer my prayer to Liman and be on my way. Fare you well, Whitebeard. I wish you safe voyages for the year to come. May the navigator's breath ever fill your sails. Shall we see the other ones as well? The head of the Bismarck? Well, I come to feel Lamance's breath on my face, only to find the faithless besom whispering in the ear of another. How have you been keeping, Whitebeard? I hear we've got you to thank for the Rising display. A yo-yo's been singing your praises from Fisherman's Bottom to the Coral Tower. What? Surprised I know her? Limsa's a small place, lad. Hardly a day goes by I don't see a yellow jacket or several in the Bismarck. Whether it's to sup on the finest food and wine this side of the sea, or to clap the irons on those who have tapped the cask a touch too thirstily. Suppose an adventurer like you mightn't have noticed, always coming and going as you are, but stick around the city for a while and you'll see. The jackets ain't just axes for ire. They're true friends of the old common folk. A yo-yo was a retainer before the calamity struck, you know. Her master had a thing for fireworks. Every time they came back from their wandering, they'd load her down with an hundredweight of sprouts and spinners they'd picked up from God's nowhere. Day and night you'd see her down in the market ward, beaming that sunny smile of hers at every passerby, trying her damnedest to flog the stuff. Enjoyed the work, I reckon, but then Dalamud fell, and she lost her master. Literally lost him. The way she tells it, it were as if the calamity burned an hole in her memory, and they fell straight through. Couldn't remember their face nor their name. But she never forgot the fireworks. The amount of gunpowder that went through her hands over the years, she couldn't help learning a bit about making things go bang. An apprenticeship with the cannoneers later, and she was a yellow jacket. So when I heard they were the ones who'd been put in charge of the Rising display, I knew she'd be the first to volunteer. The Rising fireworks, they mean a lot to her, and as a friend, they meant a lot to me. Thank you. One last one to do. You hear footsteps approaching. You turn and see. It's the proprietor of the Drowning Wench. If it ain't me old pal Whitebeard. You're the big old bird, the old bird for guidance too, are you? St. Albans said you had an you had an and you had an and in this year's at fireworks. Sorry. And not a bad job you made of them neither. You made a job in down in Ocker's Alley. I sent her to pick up some stock for the wench. But you know what she brought me back? Only a bottle of bleeding Bacchus. Paid for it out of her own pocket, she did, to thank me again for saving her life. Don't know why she's so hung up about it. The girl's paid me back 100 times over with all her hard work over the years. Felt a bit bad accepting it late, but, well, a bottle of Bacchus is a bottle of Bacchus. Reckon it's you we should be thanking anyway for that marvelous display. All the ships in the harbor and the fire in the sky. It brought back a lot of memories. Some good, some bad, but every one of them well worth remembering. And we ain't done making them yet. You'll be off on your next adventure soon enough, I'd wager. Well, you can't rightly be striding out on an empty stomach, now can you? Come up to the wench and we'll fill your belly. Been sipping on my coffee, I'll be good. Alright, guys. So, we got to see the Rising Festival. We got our cute little Kryl. Cute little girl. So, I think we might need to go to the wench. Go to the drowning wench. And let's see what we get. It said something about mini games. We should check those out. You know, one of these times I'm going to start getting into the glamours and fashions, and we're going to see what that's going to look like. That is... Right now I'm enjoying the look of the armor. That, and it lets me know what pieces I've got on. Ah, so you're the Whitebeard I've been hearing so much about. We were just talking! 'Tis a pleasure to meet you in the flesh. Name's Batter on the most hospitable holsteries in this drowning wench. 'Tis a place where venturers like yourself gather up and rest. Listen to the latest gossip. Yes, we've talked to you about this. In keep. Toy chest. Huh. I have never been good at these. Well, that's an interesting one. Concentration. Cheap dungeon. What is cheap dungeon? Oh, really? Oh, I gotta get the key. Oh, I think I see it. I got the key. Huh. Please tell. Hey, Clubsman, how's it going? You gonna be up for some Sea of Thieves in a little bit? Okay, is it just me, or... Oh, this calls me back to the original Final Fantasy. I've been doing good. Just finished up, excuse me, just finished up the Rising event, which is the event for Final Fantasy XIV's anniversary. But I'm getting ready to step away for about an hour. And what do you say I come back and we do a little Sea of Thieves? Haven't done that in a while. I'm sure we're both out of practice, and that ought to be fun. That ought to be fun to watch. I'm sure I'm probably a lot more rusty at it than you. But, yeah, so here we go. See? Got fireworks going off. Yeah, it's going first person, so you can really see. Alright, well, it's been a short one, to say the least, but I'm glad to be able to get back on here, get back into the swing of it. Level 60? No way! Hey, if you want, we can also hop back on there. I can try and help you out a little bit more. I don't know about streaming it, though, because I don't have that one installed. We'll figure it out. I'll talk to you in game chat. Maybe hit you up on Discord. Either way, I'll let you know when I get back online. See, even got the nice little... Give him the old wave. Either way, man. I need to hop off here for about an hour. I'll be back on. I'll send you a message over party chat. And we'll get things figured out over the next hour. Oh, let's see here. Where is it at? Just kind of fall asleep. Alright. Well, it's been fun, everyone. And Glubsman, we'll be in touch. So, until then, have a great rest of your day, and hopefully I'll see you all back here again real soon. All right.